Have you ever felt someone's presence in your life, even when they're not around? That quiet pull, the little things she does when she thinks no one is watching, that's where the truth hides. Today, I'm going to reveal the subtle, almost invisible signs that show when a woman is thinking about you constantly. Moments so quiet, yet so powerful, they could change the way you see her forever. Pay attention, because missing these signals could mean missing something extraordinary. By the end of this video, you'll never look at her actions the same way again. Comment below where you're watching from. I'd love to know your city! Don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss these deep insights into human behavior. You see, the way someone acts in the quiet moments often reveals more than their words ever could. It's easy to overlook these subtleties because they don't scream for attention. Yet, these are the moments that carry the weight of genuine thought. The fingerprints of the mind lingering on someone else, when she takes the time to remember the small details about you. Your favorite coffee, a joke you laughed at, or even the way you fidget when you're nervous, she is silently investing mental energy into your presence. These aren't just casual observations. They are echoes of her mind returning to you over and over without you even realizing it. When you start noticing these seemingly minor gestures, you begin to understand the quiet depth of her attention. Maybe she texts you when she has no reason to, simply because a thought of you crossed her mind. Or perhaps she adjusts her schedule subtly, creating space for a conversation or a meeting that aligns with your life. These actions are not performed for validation. They are instinctive reflections of emotional investment. The beauty of this is that it shows a kind of authenticity that words alone often fail to capture. Psychologically, this speaks volumes. Human beings are wired to prioritize what consistently occupies their mental space. When someone is thinking about you constantly, their brain is reinforcing neural pathways associated with your presence. In simpler terms, her mind is building a network of small, repeated actions that point back to you. This is not manipulation or conscious effort. It is a quiet, ongoing acknowledgement that you matter. And when we recognize these patterns, we begin to see the invisible threads that connect us, often in ways more profound than spoken declarations. Philosophically, this is where the magic lies. Life is mostly composed of fleeting moments, of gestures unnoticed and words unheard. To catch the signals of someone's persistent thought is to glimpse into the depth of human connection. It reminds us that love, attention, and care often operate in silence, not spectacle. There is a profound intimacy in noticing these subtle signs, because it is here, between what is said and what is felt, that true understanding grows. So, pay attention. Notice the quiet actions, the small gestures, the little deviations in her routine that seem inconsequential at first. They are not inconsequential. They are the roadmap of her thoughts, the blueprint of a mind that is returning to you again and again. Recognize them, honor them, and let them guide you toward understanding the depth of her attention. Remember, it is in the quietest moments that the loudest truths are revealed. There is a language that exists beyond words, a conversation that happens without sound. When she thinks about you constantly, much of it is expressed in gestures, in glances, in the subtle ways she shifts when you enter the room. These moments might seem insignificant at first, almost invisible, but they carry an emotional weight that is undeniable. A glance held just a fraction longer than normal, a smile that appears unexpectedly, a fleeting touch that lingers slightly longer than casual. It's here in these small, almost imperceptible actions that the mind speaks loudly to the heart. We often underestimate the power of non-verbal cues because society trains us to seek verbal confirmation. Yet psychology tells us that humans communicate far more through body language than words. When someone is mentally and emotionally invested, their body begins to reveal what the mind cannot say aloud. The tilt of her head, the way her eyes follow your movements, even the patterns in her breathing when you are nearby, all of this forms a narrative of attention and care. She may not be aware she is sending these signals, but her subconscious mind is betraying the truth. You occupy her thoughts more than she admits, even to herself. Consider the subtle changes in behavior that appear when she knows you are observing versus when she believes you are not. Often, it is in the quiet, private moments, those moments unspoiled by expectation, where the most genuine signs emerge. Maybe she hums your favorite song softly when she thinks no one is listening, or perhaps she reacts instinctively to a memory that connects to you. These gestures, though minute, are powerful indicators of the depth of her engagement with your presence in her life. Recognizing them requires patience, attention, and a willingness to see beyond surface level interactions. Philosophically, this tells us something profound about human connection. The mind often operates in silence, crafting intricate patterns of thought and behavior that reflect what truly matters to us. When she is thinking about you constantly, these patterns manifest physically as subtle ripples in the way she moves through her world. Understanding and appreciating this is not just about noticing attraction. It is about recognizing the quiet, intricate ways people care, the ways attention becomes devotion without a single word spoken. So, learn to read these cues. Observe the glances, the micro expressions, the slight gestures that seem inconsequential. They are not inconsequential. They are evidence of her consistent mental and emotional presence. By attuning yourself to this language, you gain insight into the depth of her feelings and the sincerity of her thoughts. In a world where words can be hollow, let the quiet truth guide you. Never ignore what is whispered through actions. In them lies a sincerity that words alone cannot capture. When someone thinks about you constantly, it goes beyond fleeting curiosity or casual attention. It seeps into the rhythm of their daily life, shaping choices, influencing moods, and quietly directing thoughts. This is why quiet thinking matters so profoundly. It is not loud, dramatic, or demanding, but it is persistent, consistent, and deeply revealing. When she carries you in her mind, even in small, seemingly inconsequential moments, it signals a level of emotional investment that words often fail to capture. These repeated, silent thoughts are a measure of her care, her priority, and the significance you hold in her inner world. Psychologically, this constant attention forms a subtle yet powerful pattern in her mind. Neuroscience shows that repeated thoughts strengthen neural pathways, embedding the object of those thoughts deeper into memory and emotion. In simpler terms, when she thinks of you repeatedly, her brain is training itself to keep you present, relevant, and meaningful. This is not manipulation or pretense. It is the natural mechanism of focus that occurs when someone values another deeply. Recognizing this allows us to appreciate the intensity and sincerity behind the quiet, daily acts that might otherwise go unnoticed. The philosophical aspect of this is equally compelling. Life moves quickly, and people are often distracted by the noise of their own responsibilities, ambitions, and obligations. For someone to consistently carve out mental space for you amidst that chaos is an act of subtle devotion. It speaks to a willingness to prioritize emotional connection over convenience, to hold attention where the heart perceives value. These silent thoughts may never be announced aloud, yet they are profoundly revealing. They remind us that real connection is cultivated in the quiet spaces between words, in moments that are easily overlooked but eternally significant. Understanding this dynamic transforms the way we perceive interactions. When you notice the repeated small gestures, the consistent attention, the subtle mental returns to your presence, you begin to grasp the depth of her commitment. It encourages patience, observation, and empathy. It also serves as a reminder that connection is not always about declarations, grand gestures, or dramatic statements. Often, the most meaningful expressions of thought and care are woven quietly into the fabric of daily life, unnoticed except by those willing to pay attention. So take a moment to reflect on this, the quiet actions, the small reminders, the invisible attention. These are not trivial. They are the markers of consistent thought, the signs of someone who holds you in their mind and perhaps in their heart. Do not dismiss them. Honor them, recognize them, because when someone thinks about you constantly, even in silence, it is one of the most powerful forms of connection there is. Never underestimate the value of a mind and heart that returns to you again and again, quietly, persistently, and intentionally.